Hello everyone and welcome to the live stream. I hope that you're all doing good. Tonight, of course, we are going to be hanging out for a couple of hours and we're going to be chatting about a bunch of different things that have happened over the past couple of days. Some that I've talked about in videos that I wanted to do follow-ups on, some that I haven't gotten a chance to talk about yet that I will be covering in the next few days. There has just been, unfortunately, not a lot of gaming news. I've been feeling like lately there's been kind of a lack. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different entertainment topics, but I do have some gaming in here. Lots of just stupid bullshit. Unfortunately, well, the entertainment industry isn't getting any better, and things are only getting worse. So, tonight we're going to be talking about Disney. Lots about Disney and Marvel. I think that we've all expected there to be some kind of dip when it comes to Disney. I think that we all have seen kind of their high lately and how good a lot of their content was doing. And then it all just came tumbling down for them. And I mean, all of the things that they were putting out still were making them money. Obviously, Disney's a fucking mega company, and it's not like they're gonna go under in a day. But apparently things are just getting a lot worse very quickly for them because Bob Chapek confirmed the company is undertaking massive cost-cutting measures in wake of the poor Q4 financial report. This is kind of hilarious because when we hear about Disney and we hear about their success from, like, the media, they're not laying people off, they're not cutting costs, and they're pouring shit tons of money into all these different projects. So, of course, when they're not on a normal basis doing cost-cutting measures, that means it will all happen in a couple of massive waves, and it's right around that time. Which is, honestly, I don't feel bad at all. Fuck Disney. Disney sucks. But it is kind of funny to see happen. We're also going to be talking about Xbox, and I did make a video on this a couple of days ago about how the head of Xbox Studios says the developers behind the Fable reboot is aiming to bring the series forward for today's sensibilities. And even though we've already talked about this, I decided the other day to start a mega thread on Twitter that brings up any sort of franchises or content that has been updated for modern audiences or made for modern times. And I've added quite a lot of things here, but I thought that we could quickly go through them because, well, unfortunately, again, the phrase modern audiences is sadly here to stay, and I don't think that that's going to go away anytime soon. Funny that we're talking about Disney when Disney is a giant issue when it comes to modern audiences. Thank you, Raj, for the $1.99 super sticker. Much appreciated. We're going to be talking about Disney reportedly sinking the female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie. This kind of goes along with the first article that we're going to read about them undertaking massive cost-cutting measures. I think Disney is about to go into a bit of a panic mode, and they're going to pull a Warner Brothers Discovery. We know with Warner Brothers Discovery, after the leadership change, there have been tons of massive projects that have been cut down, and a lot of movies canceled, TV shows canceled, a lot of just their plans in general have been changed around, and I think that we're going to see Disney start doing this in the next few weeks, but this is one of the major ones that we are now hearing about. And honestly, this isn't really that surprising for me. They knew that they were going to take a lot of heat for doing this movie. At first, we heard that it might have been a series, and then we heard that it was a movie. Regardless of what it ended up being, what the format was, they were going to face a lot of heat over it because, of course, they fired Johnny Depp from the Pirates franchise And they decided they were going to try to do this female-led reboot, even though the pirate movies have already had very strong female characters as leads. But yeah, apparently Margot Robbie is no longer getting her female-led Pirates movie. I don't really care. I was not going to watch this or support it. It sounded like a terrible idea. I'm all for seeing women in entertainment and seeing female-led films and shows and games, whatever, content, any of it. But the fact that they fired JD just to say, you know, we're gonna go in a different direction, and with a female lead who suspiciously looks a little bit like Amber, I didn't know where they were gonna go with this. I remember when we initially heard the news, I had said, oh, I don't really know if this is going to move forward. Like, I don't know if this will actually be a product they release. But they seemed very gung-ho about it. They seemed very focused on the idea. But now, well, it's dead in the water. Which, honestly, get fucked. We're also going to be talking about Black Panther. I'm not going to do, like, a full movie review on Black Panther. Primarily because this shit was so boring, I would fall asleep. But I wanted to talk about how unhappy people seem to be with the film and how unhappy Marvel fans are rejecting the plot that they went with, making recast T'Challa trend on opening weekend, which of course is just terrible news for Marvel overall. They created this movie, they thought we were gonna, you know, pay respects to the lead actor who has unfortunately passed away, and sadly, they didn't give us a good movie. While I do appreciate the effort they put forward to, you know, pay homage to Chadwick Boseman, it just ended up being a very messy movie overall. It was very unenjoyable. It was boring. It was slow. The angles that they took in it, the colonizer angle, it's not good. The changes to Namor, even though that's not how you say his name, were also bad. So we're going to be chatting about that. And then there's a couple of smaller things that I thought we could cover at the end. They're not fully fledged topics. Well, one of them is, because I'm going to cover it in a video tomorrow. But Rian Johnson wants to come back for more Star Wars. He said that making Star Wars was the high point of his life, and he prays to God that he will be back there someday. Buddy, you better start praying. You better pray as much as you can, because you're going to be waiting the rest of your life to get something you're never going to receive. He's decided to, in an interview, basically beg Disney publicly for another chance to make more Star Wars, which just sounds like the worst fucking idea. But, okay. Also, this is so stupid. Wow, guys. In a stunning and brave turn of events, Transformers Earthspark season finale rolls out the franchise's first non-binary Transformer. Oh, God, that is just fucking cringe. I hate the word cringe, but that is just fucking cringe. Bro, they're robots. Get over it. Who the fuck cares? Does it matter? Do robots really need to establish their fucking preferred pronouns, dude? Jesus Christ, man. So, yeah, we're gonna chat about that too. Oh, stunning and brave, man. Oh, I'm so happy. Non-binary robot, a scrap of metal. Wow, very stunning and brave. I don't think that we have anybody here in chat that refers to themselves as non-binary. I don't think anyone in chat refers to themselves as a they/them. Those are your preferred pronouns. I'll have to post this on Twitter. Maybe we can get one or two people to answer. Isn't this fucking insulting? that companies think making a piece of fucking metal and slapping they/them pronouns on it, isn't that insulting? That's their definition of representation? I'd feel offended. Anyway, guys, those are the topics for tonight. How are you all doing? Hope you... What the fuck was that? It was an ad. How are you all doing? Hope your evening is going well. Another week where a political event falls tonight. Last week we had political event. Tonight is another political event. So I don't know how long this stream will be. We'll see. I mean, if everybody leaves at 9 o'clock because of the Trump announcement, that's fine. It is what it is. But we're at least here for now. Fuck. If Hasbro is awful. Hasbro... I don't know. Hasbro has gotten pretty wacky over the years, but they've gotten very wacky over the past, like, year and a half. I mean, what the fuck is that? It's insulting to robots. Robot lives matter. They do, that's true. I just... God, it's so cringy. And again, I fucking hate the word cringe, but it is so cringe-worthy. Like, that's your big idea. That's your big plan. Unfortunately, Transformers hasn't been going in a good direction for years at this point because we have transgender robot. Yeah, we have one transgender Transformer. We have a lesbian Transformers or something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I've never looked at Transformers and questioned, you know, their sexual identity. Is that just me? I think if you do, you're the one that has something wrong with you. But, you know what? It's character development. It's so bad. It's so bad. I trust Bob Chapek. He's a good man. Surely. Bob Chapek has done a fucking tremendously awful job lately. I know when he was appointed as the CEO, people were questioning what he was gonna do and how positive he could be for the company. He has done a awful job. I mean, he is tanking this company. I'm sorry, Bob. I think you should move on. I think that you should find another hobby. Find another company to go and fucking ruin. Then again, I just kind of feel like at this point, there's nothing that could be done to save Disney in a good amount of time. You know, I feel like if they're going to talk about saving the company and they're going to change CEOs and change creative teams, I just don't know if they can do that at this point. Especially with all of the terrible content that's been put out. Y'all simp for this girl? Well, you don't have to simp, but at least you're here. Thanks for the view. How you doing, Jeremiah? Okay. Alright, guys. Let's get into the first topic at hand, which is going to be Disney. So, like we were just chatting about, Disney has been going in an awful direction over the past few years, and ever since Bob Chapek became the CEO, things have taken a drastic turn for the worse, and now he is confirming the company is undertaking a massive cost-cutting measure in wake of the poor Q4 financial report. We all knew that this was coming. When a company as big as Disney hires, releases new movies, TV shows, merchandise, products. I mean, you have things like Galactic Star Cruiser, and they're not on a normal basis releasing statements saying we have layoffs, we are canceling projects, even if it's only one or two at a time. you know that a giant wave of news is going to release eventually, and this is just Disney's giant, wave for the next probably couple of years. But it says, after months of denying the realities of living in a recession, entertainment giant the Walt Disney Company is expected to make massive layoffs due to their poor financial outlook. This is truly stunning. Because just a couple of months ago, when Bob was talking about Galactic Star Cruiser and how popular it was going to be and how they expected it to be completely sold out going into the end of the year and how they were going to, just be focusing a lot on Star Cruiser and how they shoved millions and millions of dollars into it, and then they had to put millions more into research and marketing for it. He said that they were doing great. Everything was going fine. Everything was going good. They were smooth cruising, and now the story's changing a bit. It says, as per a memo sent to the top company execs last Friday and subsequently viewed by Variety, the House of Mouse will begin taking substantial measures to offset the company's recent and abysmal Q4 financial losses. It says, while certain macroeconomic factors are out of our control, meeting these goals requires all of us to continue doing our part to manage the things we control, most notably our costs. You will all have critical roles to play in this effort, and as senior leaders, I know you will get it done. There have been a lot of cost-cutting measures from companies lately, lots of people getting laid off. You have Meta, Twitter, Disney, also Warner Brothers, Discovery, just a lot lately. Also, thank you, Zeph, for the $2 super chat, dedicating this to Jeremiah. He knows why. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I bet that's going to make him mad. To accomplish these goals, the CEO announced that he had established a cost structure task force of executive officers, our CFO and general counsel. What? There's no diversity counselor on this list? Damn, when they're cutting out all of these projects, they're not going to have a diversity counselor telling them what they should cut out? Jeez, sounds pretty not progressive to me. Okay. It says, along with me, this team will make the critical big picture decisions necessary to achieve our objectives. The measures set to be undertaken by this force include a rigorous review of the company's content and marketing spending, working with our content leaders and their teams. So we're going to see a lot of projects that have been announced be cut. We are also going to see probably a lot of slots open up in their movie schedule. So you know how I think Disney goes 3 years out or 4 years out, and they'll put like untitled, animated movie or untitled Marvel movie or live action movie. I think a lot of those are going to silently go away. And I think, now don't quote me because I don't have any inside sources or anything. I think that we are going to see a massive slowdown when it comes to live action Disney Plus series. Whether it is, Star Wars or Marvel, whatever the case may be, I think that they are going to drastically shift what they're doing with Disney Plus. I think that that's going to be a focus for them. Even though they here talk about content and marketing and spending, and they're talking about big picture decisions, I think that it will all end up coming together, and we are going to see a lot of changes when it comes to Disney Plus. I want to be hopeful here and say they've seen how bad all of their series have done and how much people have disliked the content they've been putting out. But I just don't think that we're at that point still. I still think that they have a lot of listening to do, and while we might see a couple less series than maybe they planned, I don't think that we're at the point where I can say this is a turning point and they're going to, reevaluate the way that consumers are responding to their content. I think it's still going to be like 3 or 4 years before we actually get to that point, sadly. But as you can see, They are basically starting the same narrative that Warner Brothers Discovery is on at this point. And again, Warner Brothers Discovery has talked about how, you know, they need to cut costs. And I mean, they canceled movies that were basically done, like the Batwoman movie. They decided to cut that shit out of their schedule and put it as a tax write-off. I think we're going to see more, you know, projects like that when it comes to Disney. I think that we're just going to see a lot of shit cut down, a lot of announced projects delayed, and be quietly, you know, put in the back of a filing cabinet. But right after this was announced, it was also announced that Disney has sunk the female-led Pirates of the Caribbean film, which probably plays into the announcement of cost-cutting. And I don't know fully how to feel about this. Obviously, I think when they first announced it, they had a lot of hopes when it came to this series, or this movie. They said that it was going to be like a trilogy, but whatever. I do think that they wanted to release this, but I also feel like they started hiring people and they got some actresses in on the project, but deep down they knew that there was a likely chance that this was going to be scrapped. They announced this like a year and a half ago before the Johnny and Amber trial. As soon as I say their names, I'm demonetized. Make sure to give the stream a like if you're enjoying. I think that they greenlit this series before all of that happened, before all the Amber and Johnny trials and news happened. And then they figured, well, we'll wait to see the outcome of that trial before we decide to start filming this and start fully writing it. And because, of course, everyone is siding with Johnny, Johnny has won, people feel bad for Johnny, and Disney is a major fucking factor of why he got canceled, I think they decided, instead of taking all of this extra heat, that they were going to cancel it. If they had released this movie, or this trilogy, whether it was one movie or 3 movies, if they released any content with a female-led Pirates of the Caribbean, I think it would have been a fucking disaster for them. Of course, Disney did fire Johnny Depp and cancel him over the accusations that Amber made about him. And now we know that Amber is a massive liar, and, well, where is she? She's not in the States. I mean, she literally fucking left the States because she doesn't want to pay, like, the $10 million that she owes everybody. But, I think that they knew that this was going to go terribly. Their idea was to take a brand that was successful, because Pirates of the Caribbean movies, even though the last couple have not done as good as the first few, they're still popular. People still know the name, but people do associate it with Johnny Depp. I think that their plan was to make this and go in the direction of, well, we couldn't, you know, have Johnny in this because this is a female-led Pirates of the Caribbean movie. This was supposed to be, I believe, like 10 years after the main series, so it was farther in the future. It's all females. It was just a different direction. We didn't need Johnny for this, but they ultimately, it looks like, knew that it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to work out, and it was going to be a massive fucking sink of money, especially with Margot Robbie as the lead. She's a pretty good actress, but she probably costs a lot. Let's be fair. I mean, you would have to make a lot of money to have her as your lead in a film like this. But it says, she herself said that Disney had called it quits on the female-led spin-off, Vanity Fair reported on Monday. The spin-off was set to star Margot and to be helmed by the Birds of Prey writer, according to The Hollywood Reporter in 2020. This was also another massive fucking issue, is that they hired a writer who was just terrible. And I get that, like, they like each other, they work together. Birds of Prey was a fucking awful movie, and there was nothing about it that was good. And yeah, I just think that if this had went through, it would have been a money sink for them. It says the story wouldn't have included Jack Sparrow or other familiar Pirates characters, the outlet noted at the time. We had an idea and we were developing it for a while, ages ago, aka before the trial, to have more of a female-led, not totally female-led, but just a different kind of story. Very generic, which we thought would have been really cool, but I guess they don't want to do it. Margot Robbie is a high-paid actress in the entertainment industry. She knows why. She knows why they canceled this. Of course, she's not going to say it in an interview. There's no shot she can't put 2 and 2 together. I think it's funny. I said from the very beginning that this was going to be a disaster. I honestly kind of wish that they made it just so that we could say fuck Disney and not watch it and see it bomb. Because it's not like the money and the time and the effort is going to go to a better movie. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's going to go to something good. I always thought it was a terrible idea just because the Pirates movies did have main female characters. Keira Knightley did a great job in the Pirates movies, and of course, the later ones were messy. We're not going to talk about those, but we already had a strong, lead female character who was very important to the story. I think that if they had done another Pirates movie and they made it female-led, they should have done something with her. I don't know. They decided to cancel it. I think it's pretty hilarious. I didn't think that this movie was going to do good in the first place anyway. Who the fuck wants an all-female Pirates of the Caribbean movie? Let's be honest, all-female Pirates of the Caribbean movies exist online, probably on Pornhub. So, it is what it is. This ship has sunk. The female-led Pirates movie is not going forward. We're not getting it anymore, and this was released right around the same time that it was announced that Disney is undertaking massive cost-cutting measures, and, well, I guess a diverse female-led movie was just not in the cards for them. I guess it just wasn't good enough. Jeebus. So, yeah, that's all that I had to talk about with those two kind of combined topics. I like your evil plan. Honestly, I would have liked to see the all-female Pirates movie released just so I could fucking rip it offline and not pay for it. And roast them for it. I would have loved for them to release it just to watch it fucking bomb in theaters and it do terrible and it not make them any money and watch them lose hundreds of millions of fucking dollars. That would have been the life. That would have been entertainment. I don't like specifically, shitting on projects. I like to give things a fair chance. I don't want to see content released that we know is going to be bad. But in this case, I did. In this case, it would have been pretty funny. But it sounded terrible from the very beginning. First of all, they did it because they wanted to say fuck Johnny Depp. And then they hired the Birds of Prey writer? It's just a no-go. There was no shot that that was going to be successful. I'd still rather see a spin-off with Penelope Cruz's character and Salma Hayek. Her backstory with Jack could have been explored. See, that's also a direction they could have went in, because then it would be female-focused, but you could still bring in the existing characters and do subtle yet meaningful nods to those characters without completely fucking erasing the fact that they existed. Oh, also, I think that I could be wrong. I don't remember, because all this was announced back at the beginning of 2020. I'm pretty sure that when they initially announced the female-led Pirates film, that it was going to be in, like, a different timeline, because they specifically said that they weren't going to be referencing Jack. So I'm pretty sure that they had said that. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. How is a robot non-binary? It's got they them pronouns. Don't forget there's also a transgender transformer, which we're gonna talk about in just a little bit, but I'm gonna lose my last fucking brain cell having to talk about a piece of fucking metal having a gender. Or no gender. Because it's progressive. Vera's got it. Leave female-led movies like that to the porn industry. They respect the source material way more. I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure that there is already a all-female-led pirates movie somewhere on the adult section of the internet. Okay? I've seen people have memed about this movie for 2 years now. I've seen the movie poster. Call it a movie poster so I don't get my account banned. We deserve better movies based on mediocre amusement park rides. True. But, you know. Can't be greedy. Rover, stop being greedy. We don't deserve anything. Well, especially you. I mean, I don't know what you look like, but you're probably just a straight white man. Rover, you have no opinions that are valid around here. You don't deserve anything. According to Hollywood. The aforementioned Pirates porn movie is female-led, and apparently the most expensive porn ever. No, Sean, hold on. Most expensive porn. Not Pokemon card. It is! Holy! Whoa. Damn. The more you know. I learned something. It had $1 million budget? Holy shit. Better than most fucking Hollywood movies. Damn. There's a sequel? Oh shit, okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I learned something today. I could have swore that there was a Lord of the Rings one that was also, like, super fucking expensive. Ah, when you Google that one, nothing pops up. Okay. How did you guess? I'm just that smart, Rover. I'm just that smart. Vera just assumed Rover's race and gender. I did. I would lean towards making the same guess for you, Chris. Now I've assumed your race and gender. My 2-0. Alright guys, so the next topic that we're going to be discussing is one that I did cover in a video a couple of days ago, but I wanted to talk about this mega thread that I made on Twitter. So, as you know, the head of Xbox Studios said the developers behind the Fable reboot is aiming to bring the series forward for today's sensibilities, and it was going to be a modern take, which of course sounds fucking absurd. First of all, what the fuck could they update in Fable to make it forward for today's sensibilities and it be a modern take on Fable? I mean, come on. That's ridiculous. Unless you're changing, like, the characters and the way that they look and their backgrounds, what else can you change? This reminds me very much so of, like, Wizards of the Coast pulling D&D and Magic the Gathering shit, where they have all of this established lore in these stories, and then they decide to just change it completely, and, like, slavery isn't a thing anymore, and, like, evil people aren't things anymore. But another franchise that unfortunately is going in the direction of, you know, modern takes, modern audiences, and I have said this. I'm sure that one day something made for modern audiences will release and it will be good or decent. There's just nothing that I personally have seen that has been touted as a modern remake for today's sensibilities that have been good. And I decided to make this mega thread on Twitter. I'm going to try to update this as much as possible. But I thought that we could quickly go down the list. Maybe every couple weeks we'll go down the list, because I am going to try to update it. But if you guys have any suggestions, comment on the thread, leave your suggestions in Discord. But I decided to make this thread titled Franchises Updated for Modern Audiences. Of course, Fable is, you know, the most recent example that we have. But we had Rings of Power. We had the Saints Row reboot. This is the one that has been... These two have been the worst, in my opinion. First of all, Rings of Power, just because it disrespected the amazing source material and Tolkien's legacy. But also Saints Row reboot because it completely fucking annihilated this game franchise that was very successful. And yes, we've talked about it. Saints Row has always been Grand Theft Auto's little brother. But it always did, you know, hold its own. It got its own audience. It was appealing, it was good, people loved it until now. Then we have Cowboy Bebop. They specified that they were, you know, they were updating it for modern audiences, and the social justice creatives behind the scenes did awful damage to it. Here's a list of games that are going to be modernized, which we don't really have any other specific details on. We know Splinter Cell is going to be updated for modern audiences. And again, this isn't a case where they have used the specific keywords, modern audiences, you know, a modern take, things like that. Splinter Cell. The Witcher, because we know that the Witcher remake that they just announced a few weeks ago, they used the term modernized. Dead Space, Snow White, Little Mermaid. I mean, the list goes on and on. I'm sure that we could sit here and we could go on all fucking day about this, but we have Wheel of Time. It was absolutely annihilated by Amazon. Described as a female-focused fantasy updated for modern audiences. The source material, Wheel of Time, I haven't gotten through all of the source material yet, I will be honest, but I've gotten through quite a bit of it at this point. Over the past few months, I've been working my way through it. Yeah, I've got to be honest, it's one of the worst adaptations I've ever seen. Holy shit. Also, it's sitting at a 59% on Rotten Tomatoes. Then we have the KOTOR remake. I did talk about this last week during the stream, but while they did fire Sam Maggs, and we have heard that it's been in a bit of development hell, there's been a lot of rumors surrounding the creative direction that they're going in. Specifically, we've heard that they are race and gender swapping leads, like Malik. Malik is going to be gender swapped, and Calo Nord is going to be race and gender swapped. And of course, the producer, when they announced it, said that it was going to be remade for modern audiences. As you can see, a lot of these are to be decided, things that either haven't released yet or things that are not done. Like Rings of Power, even though the first season's done, we still have several seasons to go. We don't know how it's going to turn out, but at first it was fucking trash. Splinter Cell, we don't know. Witcher, Dead Space, Snow White, Little Mermaid, we don't know how these are going to turn out. It's very likely they're going to turn out to be failures. Then we have the the historical wokeness. Anne Boleyn, a film where she was race swapped. The modern interpretation, Mutilated History, and it was sitting at a 7% on Rotten Tomatoes when I checked a couple of days ago. Then we have I, Joan. Joan of Arc was turned non-binary in this modern reimagining of her life. We don't know if it's canceled. It hasn't been officially canceled yet, but there's been a lot of talk that it will be canceled just because of how much backlash it faced. And keep in mind, you know, I have done videos on most of these things, but I've decided to make a list, okay? Because Listen, I'm starting to lose track of everything that's been modernized. Okay? Oh, we have Silent Hill 2. We just heard about this a few weeks ago. Silent Hill 2 will be fully remade to terrify modern audiences. A challenge to translate our youthful memories of the ultimate game into a language that modern players can engage with. Motherfucker. What? These people are acting like this shit came out fucking 500 goddamn years ago. Why are they acting like this? 20 years ago? When these franchises were releasing, like Splinter Cell, Silent Hill. It was 20 years ago! 20 years ago was modern! That's still classified as modern! We're not talking about 500 years ago. These people are so stupid. But anyway, I thought that I would show you guys the beginnings of the list. If you have any specific examples you think should be added to it, let me know. I'm willing to add things. I'm just trying to keep a comprehensive list because I'm sick and tired of not having a list where everything is documented. But also, there's a lot of times where I will talk in videos about things being modernized, but I won't have the links because, let's say something happened a year and a half ago. I don't have the link, and then I can't find it. So I'm trying to document things, especially for consumers to see, for like you guys to see, so you can go, oh, has this company been trashified yet? So yeah. Also, I was pretty sure I added something here. I guess not. I could have swore I added something about the Grand Theft Auto... the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. I guess I didn't, but I will have to add that because that is another one that was fucking stupid. GTA trilogy. Actually, I think that they didn't yeah, they did say modern audiences. They for sure did. Yeah, they're destroying Fable for modern audiences. I didn't actually put it on this list, but I will. I will add it to the list. Fable, modern audience. Because I've talked about it in a video, but I should add it to the nice thread. Doctor Who. That's another. I need to find some articles on Doctor Who. Modernized. Also, keep in mind, I'm trying to reference specific quotes from people where they, like producers, directors, actors, where they've said it has been modernized. So we'll see. But I thought I'd show you guys. I'm going to make a game that will piss off these modern people that don't like anything in life. You mean the social justice warriors that companies think will show up to buy their products when they won't? So stupid. The people that these companies want to appeal to, they're never going to buy their products, and they need to realize that. Like, no matter how much they change, no matter how much they update, it's never going to be enough. Lollipop Chainsaw. That is one that I feel like that's kind of 50-50 right now. But yes, I will add that to the list. I remember them using the words realistic, like for the graphics, but I don't know if they ever specified like they're modernizing it or anything like that. But yeah, definitely good times, chat. Really good times. So, yeah, I thought that we would chat about modern audiences for a few minutes, but let's be honest, I don't think we need to waste all of our brain cells tonight talking about modern audiences and modern updates to content. But yeah, next we're going to be chatting about Black Panther. I don't know how many of you guys have seen Black Panther 2 Wakanda Forever yet. I will say minor spoilers, maybe, in case I give any specifics. I don't plan to sit here and actually talk in depth about the movie, though, and all of the content in the movie. My general 2 cents was that it was fucking boring. It was fucking boring. So, yeah. I thought I'd show you guys that, though. So, I primarily wanted to read this article that talks about the lead up to the release of Wakanda Forever. God, it's just so bad. Now, I give Disney and Marvel a little bit of props when it comes to Black Panther 2. Now, hear me out. Don't put the pitchforks down, hear me out. I like the fact that they went into it trying to pay homage to Chadwick Boseman. I like the fact that they went into it trying to come up with ideas to, you know, show his legacy, but not be like, oh, he's just not in this movie. Because unfortunately, sometimes when actors pass away and things like this happen in ongoing series, it's basically just like, oh yeah, this character, he's just gone. So I'm glad they didn't do that. But the problem is everything else with this movie. No spoilers. Well, very minor spoilers. It is fucking boring, okay? This movie drags on and on and on. I could have fallen asleep 20 times during this shit. It is slow, it is boring, and it feels so fucking repetitive. When you're actually getting content, it's the same shit. It's just going, you're a colonizer, about 30 times. I mean, if I got paid every time I had to hear someone say the word colonizer, I'd be rich after this. It was just bad, okay? Again, minor props for trying to go into it, paying respects to Chadwick. It is very obviously sad what happened. And I get that they were in a sticky situation. They were in a pinch, right? They didn't know how they wanted to do this. They obviously didn't want to CGI and completely write him out. They wanted the movie to still kind of focus on his character. I think it was just a shit movie, okay? Namor, even though that's not how you're supposed to say his name, is a completely new character that just takes the general coat of paint of a previous character and completely changes around their backstory. The fact that they hype him up and are like, oh, he's so strong, is fucking stupid. A lot of it just felt very disjointed with this film. But I'm not the only person that clearly thinks that, because unhappy Marvel fans reject Black Panther 2 plot, make recast T'Challa trend on opening weekend. This is very bad news for them. Now, this film is obviously going to make money. Okay? Anything that Marvel puts out is going to make some kind of money. It's not all just going to flop. Sadly, unfortunately. But having things like this trend on opening weekend are very bad for them. Let's be nice in chat, because I remember the last time I had talked, a couple months ago, when I talked about a recast T'Challa hashtag trending, people got very heated. People are very fucking split. There are some people who think that they should have recast Chadwick Boseman. They should have continued with the character, because people view it as, while the actor did pass away, the character didn't pass away, and they shouldn't overlap it, and they should just recast. And then there are some people who think that they did go in the right direction, and they should have killed off the character because the actor did pass away. Whatever your opinion is, at the end of the day, it is a movie. Yeah, Namor, Namor. I swear that they pronounced it multiple ways in the actual movie. But recast T'Challa has been trending. There's been a lot of controversy. So it says the recast T'Challa movement to replace the late Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther has emerged again after the release of Wakanda Forever. Rewind to August 2020, amid the existing struggles of the pandemic, Marvel Studios was placed in its toughest position yet following the tragic passing of Boseman. This left fans divided between recasting the actor, replacing him in the mantle, or ending the Wakandan franchise altogether. Obviously, Marvel Studios opted to continue the franchise without Boseman, with Wakanda Forever now serving as a tribute to the actor's legacy. Part of this process involved passing on the torch to protecting Wakanda to another, which has long been speculated to be Shuri, and of course now we know, spoiler alert, even though you've probably seen the material, that it is. But, oh god, people are just... Again, Marvel was gonna face backlash no matter what they did. I think maybe they should have let this simmer for a few years. I think that maybe they should have just not made this movie right now. It says now, after the long-awaited opening weekend, the new status quo of the mantle has been revealed. T'Challa has tragically died of illness, while his sister Shuri has assumed the mantle of Black Panther, while Winston Duke's M'Baku takes on the throne. It says, though, that this led to the resistance from supporters of the movement as the topic has trended on Twitter. People saying things like, this Twitter user questioned the logic behind his death, noting the lack of proper explanation for how a man with so many superpowers died. Another user suggested Marvel Studios may be financially benefiting from Chadwick Boseman's passing by using the movie as an opportunity for fans to grieve. Other people believe that the studio shouldn't have used his death as a plot device in their fictional storytelling. Again, everybody is going to have their opinions. I'm not here to say which route would have been the best or the worst. I just think that this movie overall was really, really shitty, and they wasted a giant opportunity with the direction they went in. I also kind of just want to rant for 2 seconds about another major problem the film has, and this is the problem with Marvel in general. Why the fuck does nobody reference all the shit that's happened? Okay, right? So, Namor's group, colony, whatever you'd like to call it, they clearly would have had faced the Thanos snap. It's not mentioned at all. Don't you think Namor would be like, hey, yo, what the fuck happened where half my people disappeared, by the way? That is not a thing. Are we just forgetting that Eternals, there's a giant fucking celestial sitting in the goddamn ocean that would fuck up the tides? Did nobody see the giant celestial over, San Francisco grabbing the other Eternals? This is the problem with Marvel and movies that want to outdo the previous film. You end up with shit like this that is not referenced. Now, I will give them a little credit because Marvel twice now, not once, twice has referenced Eternals. Once, Eternals was referenced in, I believe it was She-Hulk, in a newspaper. Oh, if you pause the frame, you could see her newspaper said, oh, there was an Eternal. Wow, a newspaper. Not even a line of dialogue. And then in another series, it was quickly referenced because you saw Celestial. Oh my god, wow, that's crazy. You can't just make these giant fucking earth-shattering ending changes and not have people talk about them. It's so stupid. I'm losing my fucking last brain cell trying to piece together so I don't feel bad watching this movie. I don't want to sit here and be the only one thinking about what the fuck's going on with the Eternals. I don't want to be the only one sitting here going, so what about the Thanos snap? I am though. Not even the Marvel writers are thinking about these projects. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Thanos and Eternals, who are they, right? I mean, that's what happened. Oh, and it's like Loki with the drawer full of Infinity Stones. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm talking about it because I want to talk about it. Okay. I'm having a lot of problems recently with Marvel. Over the past couple of years, Marvel has been going in a bad direction. I have enjoyed less and less movies, but even though the movies were not great, I still found something in them to enjoy or find entertaining. But it is getting so much worse for me. I know there's a lot of people that have talked about how they've tuned out from the MCU. It is getting to the point where I dread having to watch these movies. Like Black Panther, I did not want to watch this movie. I was very close to not watching it. And that would be unfair because I'm here, I'm talking about it. I don't want to judge something I haven't seen. I think the tipping point for me was truly Rings of Power. I went into it trying to give it a chance, and it was just the worst dog shit, garbage, trash tier entertainment I've ever fucking laid my two eyes on. And I just think after that, my level for giving a fuck has gone significantly down. There is a fuckery... There's a fuckery level that I have never reached before, and it is lower than I thought that it was. There is a fuckery deficiency in me now. But, Marvel's, it's gotten bad. The MCU has gotten really, really bad. If you want a fun drinking game, every time in this movie they say colonizer, take a shot, you will be shit-faced by the end of it. I was so sick of that being the one line. And then, oh god, it's just, they try to throw all these characters into it. They had Riri Williams, and then they had Namor. And, oh god, and then all the Black Panther characters, the Wakandan characters. Oh my, it was just, it felt like Eternals. But listen, this is hard for me to say. It felt like Eternals, but worse. I don't, listen, Eternals, put the pitchforks away. Eternals was very bad, and it was slow. But when there was action happening in the 3 goddamn scenes that there was action, it was actually like a little enjoyable, right? It was like a 4 out of 10 for the action scenes. In this movie, all of the scenes were just like, they were lower. Oh god, it's just so bad. It was, I think that pacing wise, it was on point with Eternals. But my thing is that in Eternals, there was at least like 1 or 2 characters I thought were neat. In this movie, there were no characters I thought were neat. Eternals, I really liked... Oh my god, hold on. Eternals? Eternals character list. Okay. Like, let me look. Oh, Thena was kind of cool. I thought that Thena, sorry, yeah, I had to fucking Google it. Bitch, it's been 2 years, okay? Thena was a cool direction. I wish we gotten to see more of her powers. I really liked Makari and Druig. I thought that they were kind of cool. And then I wish we had gotten to see more of Phastos and his his crafting, I thought that those characters had a neat direction, even though, of course, some of them were changed from their original comic counterparts, whatever. I still think that they had some kind of interest there. But with Wakanda Forever, there was just no interest. It was just bad all around. So, there you have it. There's my 2 cents on Wakanda Forever. Very fucking bad movie. Was very unimpressed. Too slow. Hashtag colonizer. Bad film. Anyway, guys, now we just have a couple of smaller topics to chat about. Look at this dumb fuck. Gotta love it. You just hate good entertainment, Vera. Clearly I hate good entertainment, but at least you guys see that, right? I can't believe you actually watched it. I say this all the time, if I was a normal consumer, I wouldn't watch half this shit. But because I'm sitting here on YouTube talking about these things, I want to give them fair chances. I want to talk about them, so I want to watch them. I don't want to be that person who complains about shit but doesn't give it a chance. But, well, it was bad. It was really bad. Doctor Strange 2 was also a bad movie. But I think the reason why Doctor Strange 2 kept me slightly entertained was because I liked the 2 main characters. I've always kind of liked Wanda, even though this version of her isn't as good as her comic book version. I've always liked Doctor Strange. So, again, with DS, there were elements that I did like to it, but overall it wasn't a good movie, and it was very inconsistent. Rip Vera's sanity. That's the way that I feel at this point. Listen, I can't stand this shitty entertainment anymore. A couple weeks ago, my mom had told me that she had gotten Disney Plus. She got it with like a phone plan or something. Rip mom's wallet. And she had asked me, oh, what are some movies and shows you like? And then she proceeded to ask me, should I watch Eternals? And I told her, if you want to fall asleep. She had asked me about like one of the recent Disney movies. I think it was Inside Out or something. If you want to fall asleep. So I ended up referring her to Daredevil because, listen, that's the only fucking good one on there. Oh, and she asked me about She-Hulk. Poor mom. Poor mom. I mean, come on, she's looking at peak bad entertainment. Your sacrifice is appreciated. I try, but it took me a lot to watch Black Panther. I did not want to watch this shit. I did. So bad, though. Yeah, and this push for introducing these new characters has gotten kind of crazy. America Chavez, Riri Williams. It's just, it's a lot at this point. It's like, introduce one new character, bring them in for 2 or 3 movies. Then introduce another character. But back to back to back to back. I mean, again, look at Eternals. We introduced fucking 12 new characters and we haven't seen a single one since. Multiverse of Madness was garbage, yeah. I do think that there were specific elements that I thought were okay. Like, I liked the Doctor Strange character, Wanda's character. I was interested to see what she was going to do next. Sadly, though, it's just so many fucking inconsistencies. And we don't need to talk about Doctor Strange again because I've talked about it way too many times. But it's like in Endgame or Infinity War, when he's like, I've looked at 9 million different universes and this is the only way to beat Thanos, even though this bitch didn't see one of the other fucking timeline where you use the Darkholds. And so it made the Infinity Saga stupid. Besides those inconsistencies, it was still a bad movie. Give her a break. She was trying to find another common interest with you. Oh no, we have plenty of common interests. She was just looking for something to watch on like a lazy Tuesday. Take out Benedict and Elizabeth in Multiverse of Madness was trash 100%. They were the only things that made it significantly, decently okay. And we're not even talking about good. We're talking about okay. Anyway, guys, I don't know if you all heard about this, but Rian Johnson has decided to publicly beg Disney for another chance at Star Wars. Let's open the article. Let's give IGN a click. I know that they're dying. So let's Oh shit. Oh shit, I'm gonna look at that later. 33% price drop. Anyway, I don't get distracted by ads. I even gave IGN an ad click. I'm a good person. Okay, I'm doing my duty. Anyway. The Last Jedi director really wants to make another Star Wars film. Not only is he begging Disney for another chance, Pharaoh window shopping. Listen, I've been looking at Surfaces for like half a year now, okay? I need to buy a computer first. I do. I really need to buy a computer first. But $37 a month for 24 months kind of sounds like a scam. Not only, though, is Rian Johnson begging Disney for a chance at another Star Wars film, he's also publicly begging. He's so fucking desperate. He can't get a phone call with the executives at Lucasfilm to even get a chance to pitch another Star Wars movie, so he's publicly begging. It says, The Last Jedi may have its detractors, but Rian Johnson still wants to make another Star Wars film. Currently doing press for his upcoming detective thriller Glass Onion, the filmmaker revealed during an interview with Variety that he's still keen to return to the galaxy far, far away. Nobody wants that, Ryan. Nobody wants that. Whether that opportunity will come or not is still unclear, though. Before The Last Jedi debuted in cinemas, Disney and Lucasfilm announced that he was working on his own trilogy that would introduce new characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never been explored, aka no man's land where they can do whatever the fuck they want. That still hasn't come to pass. However, earlier this year, they confirmed that the project had been put on hold. So it hasn't been officially canceled, but when they say that it's been put on hold, that basically means that they're not going to do anything with it, that it is going to be canceled. Yes, I am going to be upgrading my PC here in the next few weeks. I've been waiting because I've been watching prices of stuff, but I am going to be doing a build that is DDR5. I'm not going to be buying a 4090 because they're too expensive right now, and I have a 3090, but I am going to be making it capable to run a 4090, meaning like a 1200 watt power supply. I'm going to be going DDR5, and yeah. Not very fun. Not fun at all. It says he has been unbelievably busy with Knives Out in the deal that he made for Netflix for multiple movies. Kathleen Kennedy confirmed, and this was echoed by him himself. I've stayed close. Kathleen? You mean two? I've stayed close to Kathleen Can I go on a 2-second rant? Why the fuck do people not have editors anymore? Today I have read 3 articles where there have been typos and mistakes. I was reading an article about Tom Brady that said he's been in the NFL for 324 years. Bitch, can you learn to fucking edit your content? It was the first line in the goddamn article. Why do people not have editors anymore? Are that many people losing their journalism jobs that you can't even have an editor proofread your content? You can't even take 5 minutes to proofread your content? Anyway, I've stayed close to Kathleen and we get together often and talk about it, he explained. It's just at this point a matter of schedule and when it can happen. It would break my heart if I were finished, if I couldn't get back in the sandbox at some point. Little is known about the third Knives Out film, but it appears to still be on the table, as he commented that the next thing I write is the third one of these. So he really, really, really wants another Star Wars movie, which I get, right? He's someone who Disney did really love at first, but he knows that he might get one more movie out of Knives Out, and then he's gonna be back on the streets. And, well, he's desperate. And now he's begging for another Star Wars film, which I think is truly hilarious. But, as you can see, I don't think that he's going to get another Star Wars movie or the trilogy. I don't think that he's going to get any of that, just judging by The Last Jedi ratings. 91% critics, which, of course, shills. But audience score over 100,000 ratings. It's sitting at a 42%. 100K. What's Rings of Power sitting at? Rings of Power is sitting at... Oh, that's right. They never unlocked it, huh? They never released it. They haven't actually released the numbers to see how many people have left reviews, but it's sitting at a 39%. Very similar scores. Very, very close. Maybe they should get Rian Johnson to work on Rings of Power. It can't get any worse. It truly can't. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. Thought I'd show you guys that. Thought you'd find that entertaining. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Whew. Whew. Okay. I was a little scared there for a second. That's well, something might pop up on my Twitter. Okay, I didn't know if there was going to be any tweets about this, but we'll talk about the article. I do think I am going to do a video on this tomorrow. Oh God, the clown world only gets more clowny. I don't understand. Who is coming up with these ideas? Yeah, I follow a lot of artists on Twitter that like and share a lot of NSFW art. Half the time, I'm scared in private to scroll down my Twitter. Tired of ratings manipulation shit? Yeah, I mean, ratings definitely are manipulated, as we can clearly see with just kind of the current state of shilling, unfortunately. Journalists shill, film critics shill, the amount of users who have rated or locked, and then they manipulate the way that the ratings are even shown. It's stupid. That's why I don't trust game journalists. Film reviewers, anybody. That's not me. Sorry. Sorry, chat. I gotta keep it a buck. I don't trust anybody that's not me. What's there to trust at this point? Why does Optimus have a sad soy face? Because is a soy boy. No. Jeez. The soy really got to him. So, Stupid was announced today. Transformers Earthspark season finale rolls out the franchise's first non-binary Transformer. I think that this is some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of dumb shit on the internet. This has got to be one of the fucking worst. Who are they hiring that is coming up with ideas like this? That is saying this is the future. This is what's gonna sell. Ever since their launch back in the 1980s, there's always been more than meets the eye when it comes to the Transformers, and in current year's Transformers Earthspark, that translates to the series' signature robots experiencing the Cybertronian equivalent of gender dysmorphia. I hate cringe, the word. It's awful. The word cringe is cringe, but this is cringe on another level. Releasing all 10 episodes of its first season to Paramount Plus on November 11th. By the way, I didn't even know that this was coming out. The latest CGI installment of the legendary robot series is set long after the conclusion of the Autobots-Decepticons Civil War and follows the story of Robbie and Morgan, two humans who end up discovering that the Cybertronians have previously set down roots in their new hometown of Pennsylvania. Okay, sure. As it says throughout the series, they work together with the Autobots as well as Megatron via the Ghost Organization to protect the Earth from not only the remaining Decepticon forces, but also any other threat that comes their way. Apparently it's he, him, she, they, she, her pronouns. The existence of the franchise's first non-binary machine is revealed in the two-part finale. I don't even want to read this. During a scene where an Optimus is walking his team through an upcoming raid of the villain Mandroid's lair, the Autobot leader can be seen using random household objects, such as soda bottles, cups, and even toys to represent the terrain and his allies respectively. Upon seeing them being as a stand-in for the Autobots, Nightshade takes notice of a penguin bobblehead before proceeding to ask his leader if he can be represented by it on the board. Caught off guard by this request, Optimus hesitates, and as he begins to answer, finding himself confused as to which pronouns to use in reference to the Transformer. Oh, Optimus, our considerate king. He didn't even know what pronouns to call this Transformer. To call Nightshade. Considerate king, he asked, what pronoun should I refer to you as? Seeking to break the tension, Mo steps in for Nightshade and after exchanging an acknowledging nod with the Autobot, turns to tell Optimus Nightshade's pronouns are they/them. Well, that's about it for me. I am done on this planet. I'm so #blessed and grateful that I now will not misgender this scrap of metal. I can't. Oh, I can't. And don't forget, this is like a kid's cartoon, right? I mean, this is like a CGI PG-13 rated fucking show. This isn't for you and I. Nightshade then quickly and confidently says he or she just doesn't fit with who I am. That's very stunning and brave. Very stunning and brave. That's gotta be a yikes from me. Well, chat. I think I'm gonna talk about this in a video tomorrow. Oh no. I think I'm gonna talk about it in a video tomorrow. But, well, that is just fucking terrible. That is so stupid. That is one of the dumbest things I've read on the internet in a little while. Those are the topics we had to discuss tonight, guys. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in chat. I will be wrapping up stream in just a few. But yeah, we talked about the first non-binary Transformer. Star Wars The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson begging for an opportunity to work with Lucasfilm and Disney again. Black Panther being a trash movie and fans rejecting it. We talked about Eternals. We talked about modern games being made for modern audiences for today's sensibilities. And then we talked about the all-female-led Pirates of the Caribbean film being scrapped. And Disney undertaking massive cost-cutting measures because, well, they're freaking the fuck out because they are losing money. So, guys, yeah, if you have any last questions, feel free to leave them in chat. But I will be wrapping up stream in just a few. I am so much stupider thanks to Hollywood today. I am as well. I'd like to give a big shout out to Hollywood for being filled with fucking dipshits who have made me a fucking dipshit. Oh my god. Rover, thank you for the $50 super sticker. That is a cute fucking super sticker. That animation is so cute. Thank you for the 50. Much appreciated. I wish that... I get the point is like people could super chat the normal 50 and put a message, or 50 and put a super sticker. I still wish that people could put messages with the super stickers, but I guess it's not that big of a deal. But thank you, thank you, thank you. We talk about how G4 wanted to cancel Batman. What do you mean G4 wanted to cancel Batman? Yeah, I mean, Hasbro's been in the shitter. Hasbro has been fucking terrible. They are only getting worse, though. G4 canceling Batman. I don't know what that refers to. I can't find anything on Twitter about it, but I'll have to look later. We still haven't forgiven Hasbro for killing Optimus 35 years ago now. Yeah, they need to get their shit together. G4's hiring practices included a question about canceling Batman? Is there like an article or a tweet? I don't see anything like that on Twitter or anything. I'll have to look that up. Jeez. Classic fucking G4. No wonder the shitheads went down. Oh, it's so terrible. Oh, Az had done a video about it? Cool. I'll have to look after. I'll have to hear what he has to say. Honestly, not fucking surprising that the questions they would ask to potential people they were hiring would be dumb like that. But, well, I can't say I'm surprised, only disappointed, because they gotta get their shit together. I think that the people behind the scenes, now I don't know this, I guess I shouldn't say they should get their shit together. I think that they're going to form a new network. Just my thoughts, just my opinions. I have no proof. I think that they're going to form a new network. And like their own series of like YouTube channel, Twitch. I think that they're going to try to do their own G4 because they're not going to be able to get hired anywhere else. So I think they're going to try that. I don't know though. No confirmation from me. Potentially though. Did Chris get asked diverse questions before getting to be a mod? No comment. Chris, if you answer that, I'm going to take 20 cents away from your pay. And then you'll be down to 5 cents an hour. Okay. G4 can go fuck themselves. Yeah, the G4 situation was just... It was a fucking mess. I was asked my pronouns. Yeah. Yeah, the G4 situation was, it was just, I wish it had turned out differently. I mean, I don't want things to fail. I don't want people to lose their jobs, but it couldn't have gotten much worse than it already was. Like, they put out terrible content. They hired terrible people. There is just... There's no way that it could have... I don't know. There's no clear way that I see they could have fixed G4 after everything that happened, after all the drama happened, after, you know, the Frost rant and the Sessler rants. There's no way that I could go, oh, just change this and this and it would be great, but everything was terrible with it. But yeah. I'm not surprised they failed, but they could have tried a little bit harder to make it successful and make it work. They could have done something that they just didn't do. I mean, when they started putting videos out, they put out an Anthem review from a game 3 years ago that everybody fucking hated. Why did you think that was going to be a good idea? Why did you think that people would like that? Okay, hold on one second, guys. I'll see if I can bring this up really quickly. Hold on. I'm trying to bring up this article about the G4 process. Here we go. A Clownfish TV article. I thought that we could quickly chat about this before the end of stream. G4 interview process involved questions about canceling Batman. Ay, 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 ay. These people are so bad, so stupid. In the wake of the cancellation and closure of the reboot to G4 TV by Comcast, more details about the short-lived network have been coming out. A combination of tweets and open discussions on podcasts from various individuals involved that the network have given everyone insight into how the network was troubled for a long time. It says, during the Spawncast after show posted on the YouTube channel for RGT85, a content creator, Misclick, openly talked about her experience going through the interview process for G4. The discussion during the live show was first started with chatter about the late actor Kevin Conroy and his contribution as the voice of Batman. Rest in peace to my Batsy. This was interrupted by her asking if it was okay to discuss something related now that G4 was no longer around. She went on to say, I was already sus of G4 during the interview process. They offered me a host position where you have to relocate out to LA. So I go through the process and the guy was interviewing me. He goes, so why should we cancel Batman? Why do you believe we should cancel Batman? And And he said because he's rich and white, people believe that he just skates on the law, and that if someone of color did the same thing, they wouldn't get away with it as he does. I would have publicly flamed them. If I had a G4 interview and they asked me why should we cancel Batman, I would have went on Twitter 5 minutes after and been like, these dumb fucks. That is not surprising, first of all. I wish I could say I was surprised in any way, shape, or form. I'm not fucking surprised in the least bit. This shit is so stupid.
Oh, why do you believe we should cancel Batman?
Because he's rich and he's white. Okay. And your point? She went on to detail more about her experience. Both the other hosts of the show and the audience in chat were watching, confused and shocked. RGT went on to ask, that's a real ass question they asked you? And she said, that's literally what G4 recruiting me asked, and whoever their manager was or whatever their interviewers were doing. Wowza. After it was announced that G4 was done, they were shutting down, I think we all expected for maybe like a week or two there to be news surrounding their closure. It's been like a month, okay? What the fuck? G4 just needs to die. So guys, why do you think that we should cancel Batman? What are your thoughts? Chris, please answer, and if you answer wrong, your wrench is gone. And I'm passing it on to someone with the correct answer. I mean, this is so bad. Oh, why do they do that? Why would you do that? That was a giant issue, though, is that they clearly went into this G4 reboot trying to piss people off and trying to pick massive SJWs. As I've talked about many times, Frost was already a massive fucking problem in the industry. I mean, she had said a year before, blindingly white, esports is as white as far as the eye can see, too many white people. So it was no surprise that she was the one that went on this giant rant and helped kill their reputation. But knowing that they did this is just, it sounds so ridiculous that if it was just a random rumor, there's no way I would believe it. There's no way I'd believe it. But it's coming from pretty legitimate YouTubers and content creators who, yeah, I'm sure G4 would have wanted as hosts, so I do tend to believe it. Anyway, guys, I guess we're trying to cancel Batman now because Batman's white and rich. That's so bad. Well, chat, we'll be wrapping up stream in a couple minutes. If you're enjoying, give it a like. We need 6 more to hit 100. Thanks for being here. During the rest of the live show, she and the rest of the hosts responded to questions and comments from the audience who reacted to the story. Many of them were very shocked to hear her story. She goes on to talk about her thoughts on the matter. I think this is one of the reasons why they didn't pursue me to the next level. To be honest, if I was getting robbed or assaulted in Arkham or something, I wouldn't really care who was saving me. I wouldn't care if he was rich or white. I just care that he's actually saving people. To think that G4 not only asked people why we should cancel Batman, and they were expecting the answer to be because he's rich and white, but because they didn't pick a host, because she gave the wrong answer, is absurd. That is absurdity to another level. Again, I wish I could say I was surprised, but this is the clown world that we're living in, and G4 was filled with clown asses, so not very surprising. I mean, I agree with her. If I was being robbed or assaulted, I wouldn't give a fuck if it was a rich white dude saving me. It's just someone saving me, and that's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. But to the clowns at G4, that's not what matters. It's not that there's someone at least saving people. No. It has to be about, well, he's a white guy. He's got a lot of money. That's not allowed anymore. Yeah, the people behind G4 were truly pieces of shit. And, well, the story only gets worse. Maybe I'll cover this in a video tomorrow, too. I don't know, but that is just not something I expected to hear about today. And honestly, I'm not very surprised that I had to hear about today. Yikes. Anyway, guys, with that being said, I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you all so much for stopping by tonight. I do really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to give it a like on your way out. If you didn't, give it a dislike. I didn't put up any videos today because it's Tuesday, but of course, videos yesterday, and there will be new videos tomorrow. Check out links in the description. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Minds, BitChute, Odyssey, Getter. Join our Discord server. We're very active there, and I do tag you all when I go live in case YouTube doesn't notify you of the live stream. But yeah, next stream will be on Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be playing more God of War Ragnarok. And that's all that I really had to say tonight. They're my 2 cents. Like I said, check out links in the description. Thank you for the donations and the support tonight. I do really appreciate it. New videos tomorrow. Thank you guys for stopping by, and have a fantastic evening, everyone.